decades, humanity has reported encounters with the unknown. Lights in the sky, craft beyond our understanding, and programs hidden in the shadows. Now, the truth may finally be emerging. This is the Uncovering Anomalies Podcast.
Man, that intro hits just as hard as it did the first time. It's so good.
Hell yeah. I think but the music like abruptly stops. So there should be something. Maybe we should be playing music in the background where it then fades away. You know what I mean?
Because we still need a little bit of doom, 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 doom.
Right, exactly.
Well, welcome everyone to the Uncovering Anomalies Podcast. That is I Don't Give a Damn Adam. And I am Topherino, and I have no idea what episode we're on at this point.
Oh, 170.
170. Man, man. We've been doing this for literally years at this point, right?
Yes, it's been 3 years. 3 years minimum, because when did Grusch come out? I think it was 2023, August 2023.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's still so much fun, and there's always stuff to talk about because this train never ends.
No, it doesn't, and more people are jumping on this train, which is great. We love it, right? We love this subject. This is what we want. We want disclosure, but we want the right disclosure. So, like you said, there's a lot happening every single week. Like even the MSM, like Hannity, he's got a podcast now. Have you seen like his podcast studio?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You sent me a short clip. It seems like every piece of news media is moving away from traditional people sitting on a stage in front of a camera, and they're now moving towards the podcast format.
Exactly.
They saw Rogan's popularity a number of years back, and they said, well, we want to do that, not understanding that it's the content less so than the format.
Right,
or more so than the format. Excuse me.
Yeah, let's see how they do it, because this is long form. So are they going to? Oh, it looks like Topher got disconnected.
They got me. They got me. They removed me from the stream.
Oh yeah, that's right. Last week we were on the Bitcoin Live podcast where we discussed Disclosure Day. That was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Yes, and that's when you revealed this nice picture you have.
PFP. Yeah, it's great. In my mind, it's the alien showing up and being like, here we are. And everyone just looking at him really confused. Like, we know,
Yeah.
Ugh. But anyway, last week was a lot of fun. This week, it sounds like we're doing some update stories. I know
we are.
I have talked about the article I'm working on. I'm almost done. With the 4th of July weekend, it was tough to reach my goal of having it done by yesterday. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
All you Americans, those overseas, I hope you had a happy, just regular day yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, in 1776, we declared independence from the British Empire. And I think in 2026, we need to declare independence from Israel. I was going to say something else, but
we have to
caught myself.
Declare independence from the parasites that want to bleed us dry.
I mean, you know what's funny though? It's the same empire anyway. Like the British Empire was still run by the Rothschilds, the central bankers. It's the same thing that then came to this empire. So it's not like we declared independence, but I think they probably gained back this colony. I don't know, 1913 probably.
Yeah, but despite all that, this I just want to say briefly, this is a great country, and for those of you who have been watching the World Cup going on here, it's been great, and seeing all the people from around the world visit the United States and just seeing how incredible this country is. It's a nice change of pace instead of reading story after story about, oh, it's horrible here, everyone sucks and all that stuff. When that's not the case. America's a great country. We just have terrible leadership sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. We are blessed with the system that the founders have set up here. Definitely blessed. And that's why we fight so hard for it. That's why we get so disappointed, because we know the potential.
Yes.
When we see all this corruption, and it's such a waste. And like, why? It doesn't have to be like this. It could be so much better for a lot of us. And we'll see some clips why. We have some psychopaths.
Mm-hmm. But enough politics adjacent conversation. Let's get into the good stuff, the UAP stuff.
Yes, exactly. So the Disclosure Foundation have released their new policy. This is a post on X. They say, we have released a new policy brief, concrete next steps for UAP disclosure, authored by Chris Mellon and Admiral Gallaudet and Kirk McConnell. The brief argues that disclosure should now move along 3 concrete lines of effort: release compelling UAP documentation and sensor data, disclose the government's intelligence analysis, and reveal evidence of crash retrieval, reverse engineering, and related programs. Now, wouldn't that be great? I mean, that's exactly what we want, right? Especially the last here, the crash retrievals, reverse engineering, and related programs.
Absolutely. I mean, basically what this is saying is we need hard evidence, which is exactly what I think you and I have been screeching about for the last couple of years. I mean, they can release as much footage of lights in the night sky as they want, but that's nothing. It's like I've been saying forever, that kind of footage I've been looking at since I was a teenager. It doesn't change.
Exactly, man. And even the stuff that they released, from the 40s and stuff, like we know all that shit, man. We've read it all. It's it's in our database. We now just give us what we've been acclimated to. I mean, if they've been seriously disclosing for the past 50 years through Hollywood and fiction and you know what I mean? And just these whistleblowers, because it's been leaking out forever.
It has.
They should know that we're ready to see the evidence of that lore.
Absolutely.
And to stop hiding behind it. I mean, enough is enough. Fine, you guys did some criminal activity. I think the people are willing to forgive. Just,
Yeah, I mean, and we're so desensitized to criminal activity by our government at this point. It's like, dude. What else could you reveal that's worse than what we already know?
Exactly. Like after Epstein, basically.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, of course, Dr. Greer couldn't stand, not being the center of attention.
Right.
And he released something special, global announcement from Dr. Greer.
Yep. Awesome. Let's hear him.
Yes.
We need people to come forward who have dispositive proof and evidence, not lights in the skies or vague data, but the actual proof of the extraterrestrial spacecraft, the bodies of extraterrestrial peoples that have been captured, some living, some deceased, as well as the man-made craft that we have been making since the late 1950s that have been used in illegal operations. We are asking that people in good conscience, patriotic in their own countries, but concerned about the future of the entire world and humanity, defect from these illegal programs and hand over to the Disclosure Project through any means you see fit and in full confidentiality the most extensive files possible. At this point in time, the United States government, which began the path of releasing information, has been hijacked in its disclosure efforts by operatives from the same illegal group that has kept the subject secret for 80 years. For this reason, it is time for other nations of the world to step up to the plate and do their fair share in moving forward disclosure. And this includes adversaries of the United States who must forget their normal geopolitical concerns and look at the world as a whole, as humanity as one, and moreover, as the Earth, one amongst many planets in the universe. This must be done soon because the timeline for this occurring is approaching the end. The worst case scenario is that there would need to be an intervention of those who have been visiting us and patiently waiting. Unfortunately, covert weapon systems, directional energy weapon systems, illegal electromagnetic pulse weapon systems have continued to target and down extraterrestrial vehicles. There is a universal right to self-defense, and it is time for other nations to come together and prove to the world we're not alone and advocate for a peaceful approach to these civilizations and the cessation of all targeting of extraterrestrial spacecraft and peoples here around the Earth or in space. For this reason, and because the United States has stalled in its efforts, we need to have other countries come forward and with courage, regardless of the geopolitical consequences, release their files, including hard evidence. Moreover, if there are any groups who have been working as contractors under non-official cover on these programs, who have access to the materiel, extraterrestrial bodies, or physical spacecraft, please contact us, and we have teams that can secure these and then release them through our blockchain system to the world. Other people who may have video files, photographic files, and documents that you would wish to hand off to us can be contacting us at drstephengreer.com, and in full confidence, we will receive them through any intermediary you choose, and we will also release those on our blockchain system so they cannot be removed by corrupt interests. This is a call to action by not.
Very interesting. He's got a blockchain system. So if we have any legacy program contractors listening to the show, contact Dr. Greer.
Yeah.
I doubt we do, though.
Make Dr. Greer the face of the UAP disclosure, as he so desperately wants.
Yes, that's exactly what's going on.
I don't think, I know I'm ragging on the guy, but I don't think what he's asking for is too spicy. Looking for another outlet to release information is always good. You know, when the government is releasing stuff, you have to always take it with a grain of salt, because as we know, the government does not tell the truth or tell us the whole truth. Is this the same video where he said he was going to release a bunch of stuff the next day, or was that a different announcement completely?
I think. Oh, did he say that? Yeah, you mentioned he said that, because when I sent this to you, you said that. Like, is this going to be one of? So you must have heard it.
Yeah, well, I read someone, it was either on X or Reddit, where they were complaining about Greer because the message basically boiled down to, I'm sick of all of this. I'm going to release all the information about UAPs I've got, unless someone from the government tells me not to. And, you know, of course, nothing comes from that.
Yeah.
When you put that kind of caveat in your message, you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah. And you know, it's 5 days ago. It's pretty, I think, you know, he says someone hijacked, right, the effort of the president for disclosure. I think when they said that Avi Loeb would head the UAP advisory board, probably that's when he came out with that and said it's been hijacked.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because he knows he knows that he's Talpiot 8200 and Unit 8200 Avi. So, however, I would like to say I've been always against, like, because I knew this would happen, that Avi would be placed in this position, right? Right from 2 years ago, I knew it, and I was really worried. I still am, but I would like to say that in his recent interviews, he's been good. Like, he's coming out and saying that there is a crash retrieval thing, and that he was told by, I think we have a clip queued up actually, that he was told by a Lockheed Martin guy, I think CEO or something, that they did have a crash retrieval program. So, you know, he's going to go after the evidence, he says. Hopefully he doesn't fucking just, I don't know, hide it or do something else with it. Because
see, the problem with all of this UAP disclosure stuff that's been going on the last couple of months is there is so much talk, and there's a lot of people saying they're going to do this and they're going to do that, and you know, we want to bring the truth to the people and all this stuff, but no one seems to follow through, you know, with their talk. How much have we heard about, you know, when before the UAP disclosure stuff was coming out, they were all like, oh, you know, Trump's going to release this, you know, because he wants to be the UAP president and all this stuff. And what did we get? Right. You know, and it's same with, hell, I mean, if you go back as far as 2017 with, what's his name, you know, we have apparently all this, material that we can't determine, that we've determined is not from Earth, and you know, where did that end up going? It's been a lot of talk and not a lot of providing evidence.
Right. Yeah. So maybe hopefully then this advisory board will bring evidence that can be scientifically looked at and proven.
Yeah. So I guess all I was trying to say, just going back to Avi Loeb, is like, yeah, it's great that he's saying the right things, but you have to do the right things too.
Very true, man. Yes, exactly. That's very important. Very important. That's how they manipulate us too. Like what Trump did usually, or most politicians, they say the right thing just to get into power. Then it's like, oh yeah, sorry, man. It's the system. The system's so difficult.
It's national security.
Yeah, national security. Well, yeah. So we'll get to Avi Loeb. I sent you this as well. He is a hedge fund guy. David Rogers Webb. He describes the goal of the Great Taking. And it's really disturbing. And I think these are the people also behind the UFO secrecy. this group that he talks about.
And at the beginnings of this corruption, it was really happening in 1913 when the Federal Reserve System was established. And in terms of the Great Taking, a deliberate strategy, as I make the point, it's not that they need your stuff. They can create unlimited amounts of money. Mm-hmm. It's not that they need your stuff or your money. It's that they do not want you to have your stuff and your money. It is about subjugation of populations.
It's a means of control over you by controlling your property, your means of living.
Well, I'd say it's even worse than being about control, because they have control now. They have total control now. So what is happening now is beyond having total control. It is about destroying populations. So it's much darker than that we just want to control everything. People also so first people think, well, this is about that they want to make money. No, it's much worse than that. It's that they want control. No, it's much worse than that. It's that they intend that you will not exist.
Holy shit. Ain't that the truth, man? Ain't that the truth? I mean,
it sure feels that way. I mean, we've seen time and time again, laws don't apply to certain people, rules don't apply to certain people.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, we don't have to talk about wealth disparity and all that, but obviously that's a huge problem in this country. You know, and you do have to wonder, because you get to a certain point where you have enough money to do whatever you want. I mean, Jeff Bezos, for instance, he's going to space. How much more money does he need, you know?
Right. Yeah. And Musk, he's the first trillionaire, right? Mm-hmm. And he wants to go to the moon and then Mars and populate the solar system. So,
yeah. So it's not like, I mean, I see where this guy's going with this, because he's right. They don't need any more money. They really don't need control, because they've got control. And so now it's about making sure that they get to live forever while the rest of us
and be in control forever.
Yeah.
So I know he's saying it's not about money or control, but it kind of is, because what they're doing is they're trying to protect that forever.
Yeah. It's a means to an end, I think, is what he's saying.
Right, exactly. And that's why they don't like competition, because competition means that, I might get bankrupt. Someone else might come with a new idea or a new business or take me over. So they don't like that at all. They just like perpetual control and wealth for them only. Yeah, I don't know if
it's why we see these giant monopolies, you know, and everything but name only that control. Like, for instance, I know the hot topic right now is the RAM chips or whatever, right? And it's 3 companies that produce these RAM things, and they've colluded together to make sure that the price of RAM is completely skyrocketed, and it's reserved for these AI data centers, so no one else can afford to have them. You know, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah, and they have skyrocketed, and because it was you said 5. Yeah, I think it's around 5 that produce these chips.
Yeah,
in Taiwan. Like you have NVIDIA, Intel, AMD, another 2. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So here's Catherine Austin Fitts, also along the same lines that we're talking about.
This is a way to think about it. We have a problem, and it's a governance problem. You have a secret governance system, and if you look at where they're going, they're looking at changing how civilization works in a way which is very, very negative. You know, they basically want to end freedom for most people. And my point of view is that where they're going is very dark. And I don't want to go there. I don't want to be part of the world they're building. And I don't think they have the power or the right to do this. It's very demonic. And so my attitude is, we have a secret governance problem, and that's the problem that needs to get addressed. And the first thing you do to address it is you bring transparency to it. You know, you turn on the lights.
Yes.
And that's what we're all trying to do. That's what you're trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. We're just trying to turn on the lights, because when you turn on the lights, what you realize is, you know, they're a small group of people. They can't control everything ultimately. And so not only do we need to reject we need to understand who they are and what they're doing, but then we need to build plan B, because their plan's not going to work, and it's going to make a huge mess. And when their mess is through, we need to be moving towards a real civilization.
Hell yeah, Catherine. Hell yeah.
It's man, but they've designed a system so perfect that it's impossible for anyone to make plan B,
yeah.
It
sucks to say that, but you're right.
It's incredible in a horrible fascist way what they've built. I mean, here we are constantly fighting with each other because of our skin color or our politics or our religion. And meanwhile, they're worshiping Baal and just laughing their asses off because they don't have to worry about us because we're too worried about each other.
Yeah, it's so true, dude. And no one wakes up. No matter what happens, no matter how information is being disseminated by the internet and even just openly, right? And I would always say like, oh, dude, yeah, people are waking up. And then when it comes down to it, people are not. Like what happened with Massey, that really disappointed me. When he lost, I was like, fuck, we're not even close. We're exactly where we were 20 years ago. It's it sucks, dude.
And I've mentioned it several times on the show, but the Occupy Wall Street movement, I was maybe a freshman or a sophomore in college when that was going on. And
I remember that.
It was about, wealth disparity, and it was about the elite bankers who control the economy and control our lives. Right. And as soon as that was gaining momentum, guess what happened? They had a bunch of bad actors come in and start talking about race and sexuality and all this stuff. And it completely killed the movement. And it was such a diabolical way to switch that. And anytime a movement like that gets to where it was, that's what happens.
Yep, exactly. Is that when the Tea Party movement came in? Was that around the same time?
Tea Party was right around that same time. Well, I think Tea Party
so Ron Paul. Tea Party was Ron Paul, but I think it was I
want to say Tea Party was closer to. No, I'd say that was when I was in college still. Yeah, maybe 2009, 2010. I think Occupy was right around there too.
Yeah.
So it was that populist libertarian movement, not libertarian in the sense of the political party, even though it was, but libertarian in the sense of a separation from the government.
Exactly, and going after the Fed and all that stuff, and because so that is the root of the problem, and it's been identified for so long, and they're probably the keepers of the secret, right?
Yeah. And also, I mean, they make sure. I mean, I'll get off my soapbox here in a little bit, but they make sure wages stay low enough so you don't have any free time, right? Like you always have to work and grind and do all this stuff, and you don't have time. You don't have the time or energy to coalesce with other people.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why we like to talk about this subject and and bring it up as much as possible. And there's so much of it. So here's that Hannity one we were talking about. Look at this. Look at his studio. It's nice. Oh, he's trying to be like Tucker.
That'll be us. That'll be us one day. Not that studio, but in a studio like this.
Ooh, look at that ashtray for cigars.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course.
A nice one. Of course, yes. What else he has? The American flag. What are these? Is this? It says Hannity here. Was he in football?
I think those are hockey jerseys.
Oh, they're hockey jerseys. Okay.
Or sweaters, as they're called.
Hang out with Sean Hannity.
Yeah, great. How long has he been doing this one for? Because this was the first I'd heard of it.
I think it just started like last week or last month or something.
That makes sense.
Look at Elizondo. He's lost some weight.
Yeah.
Right? Burchett, man, he's sick.
Cool. Well, what do they have to say?
All right, let's see.
What do we know exists? For example, we have all these recent releases. It defies the laws of physics. What do we know for sure that we have? Age of disclosure. What do we have? There are people that say they have flying saucer. They've seen it. They've seen the power source. It's something that you would never imagine. And whatever entity might have been in there is very small. What do we know for sure? And I'll kind of let you two kind of fill in each other's gaps. What do we know?
Go ahead, brother.
So maybe this is more telling than not telling, but
by the way, include what we just had released.
Sure. I signed a document with the U.S. government several years ago that says specifically prohibits me from ever discussing the topic of crash retrievals.
The topic of
crash retrievals. That's all.
We have departments that have gone on record to say they have crash retrieval departments.
Wait a minute.
within the federal
So
government.
You kind of go into they give you a non-disclosure. So you can't talk about.
Isn't that kind of disclosure here? We have a sitting congressman that said we have agencies that say they have crash retrieval programs. And then he says he can't talk about it, but he can.
I think this is kind of the whole point of the game, right? Throw so much information in here that everything just gets lost in the weeds, because this should be, we have a sitting congressman talking about crashed craft, but again, what are they doing? They're talking. They're not showing us evidence.
No.
They're just talking.
No.
And
so frustrating, huh? And that's why I don't give a damn anymore.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where I don't know, you can come up with any kind of governmental document that says whatever you want it to say, and who knows what it truly is. I mean, I remember, did I talk about this 2 weeks ago, where the CIA had a classified document that was about zombie invasion? And yeah. It's that same thing where you can just kind of make whatever you want. It doesn't mean anything. You can just kind of have that sitting around. I'm not saying we don't have crash retrieval programs. Like I do believe that that's a huge part of
the
our
ultimate truth,
Black Ops budget. But I'm just saying, just by saying this and showing a piece of paper, that's nothing. That's nothing. I want to see the crashed craft.
We want tourist attractions, baby. And I think ultimately it's going to have to be that. It's going to have to be some museum or something like that as the end game, because we're just wired that way as humans. Yeah. We just are.
Didn't the military used to have parades and they like fly out their new technology or something? That they used to do that, right? That's what they should do with the crafts.
Funny you say that. We had a parade recently, right? The military was so sad and depressing. We're supposed to be like, we sit here, we talk about black budgets and deep underground military bases and technology hundreds of years, ahead of the world. Dude, the parade was just like World War II bullshit tanks, and like it was depressing. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
National security. They can't show any real stuff because of national security.
Dude,
we need
torture. It's torture.
Is the World's Fair, is that still a thing? Like where they unveiled the Eiffel Tower and
do
they still do that?
Yeah, the recent one was the Dubai one, right? Dubai Expo or something. That was the recent one.
We need to have one of those for just UFOs and UAP stuff.
No, we're not worthy of that.
Here's our levitation device we've been working on. Here's our craft that can travel into the fourth dimension. That's what we need.
Dude,
here's our teleportation device.
Yeah, fucking do it. Why not? Like, I don't get it. Like the whole thing of controlling and subjugation, like you don't deserve it kind of thing, is pretty psycho. All right, let's continue this.
National security. You can't have those.
National security basically means security for the oligarchs. That's
exactly.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Right. All right, let's continue.
What you know to be true.
Right. Basically says the only thing I can say are the words crash retrieval, and I cannot elaborate anything about crash retrieval.
Okay. I've been doing this kind of a number of decades. If you say you can't talk about crash retrieval, that means you know about crash retrieval. Can you talk about it?
I can talk about it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. We've had in classified and unclassified. I'll just talk about the unclassified that have sworn testimony that said there is crash retrieval programs. We've gone into secure environments where the people have discussed those crash retrieval. They've discussed what they've seen, and actually some of them have told us where they're at to this day. The problem with that is, though, everybody says, let's go to Area 51, Burchett, or whatever. And as soon as we announce we're going somewhere, the U-Haul vans have already left 30 minutes before we get there. And then there's, Area 51, they're probably a great place to get a hamburger and a T-shirt. But I doubt there's not a dadgum thing there that would strike an interest to us.
But there are entire documentaries built around the fact that we have crash retrieval.
That's right.
And that we understand, at least to some level.
We've been told in a skiff the locations of those. How about that?
How many?
5 there's you can't talk about it. I can't.
Elizondo.
Yeah, 5 different. I mean, they give
the government make you sign an NDA over what you know to be true?
That's a great question. We should ask them that. And this is why Congress is so important, because without Congress doing what they're doing right now, I never would have been able to make it even this far or even half as far before.
Well, you got to realize the first report where all this came about was I'm walking down the street, literally in Washington, D.C., in the center of all media, TMZ comes up and asks me a question.
I saw that.
And says, about I said, this thing have more holes in it. Look like somebody shot it with a 12 gauge. And I said, the report's not coming out. It's going to come out later. And it'll be all just pieced together and it won't be anything. And then it did. And then we said, enough is enough. I went to Chairman Comer, myself and Luna and a couple others and said, we got to get in Gates. Matt Gates was still in Congress then, said, we got to do this. And he said, all right, it's your baby.
Can we make a couple of assumptions? If there is crash retrieval and there is this phenomenon, and maybe they have laws of physics that we can't.
Well, quantum physics is okay. Something's vibrating over here and it's immediately over here. To me, that proves God's existence because it's instantaneous. And that's what I can't grasp in my mind. But quantum physics is basically just that.
Can we make an assumption, though, that if they wanted to hurt us, they would have been able to do so?
We'd have been a charcoal briquette, man. We'd have been gone.
Dude, Elizondo knows a lot, huh? He was nodding when Hannity was saying, like, we know we reverse engineered and understand this technology. He's saying that he's like, yep. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still like 40-60 on Elizondo being
of course I'm with you, no, for sure, but he's a legacy guy. I mean, we can't trust him because his job is to disinform, misinform, right? That's his job. And
right, correct.
Yeah, and it's always been his job, and it probably still is his job. So maybe you're right. Even that nod and whatever could be him, doing his job.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's tough because I do have a lot of respect for Burchett, and I do think he's looking for the truth. But to team up with someone like Elizondo, it's just like, man, we don't have any better options than that.
Yeah. Well, we know that Hannity is a CIA guy. We know 100% he is. So of course he has Elizondo there.
Well, plus the thing that makes me question this whole conversation is Elizondo's like, there was 5 of them. Burchett's like, oh, you can't talk about that. And there was 5 of them. That's such a, I don't know. That's such a
good guy, a good cop, bad cop kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like play acting. That's what
yeah, for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, that's our politics.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they're all playing fucking roles. They're all actors. These guys.
But hey, our national security is safe.
It is. Yes, exactly. Right. Our national security is safe. They're still in charge.
And like you said, the oligarchs are still safe in their
they're still in charge.
Castles. So
yeah,
thank God.
And that's why the National Security Act came after Roswell. They're like, holy shit, our national security. Yeah, our rule is being threatened here.
Man, I just want this is a bad movie script in my mind. I just want like a group of regular people unaffiliated with the government to uncover this secret trove of alien technology, and they use it to just wipe out governments around the world. How sweet would that be?
Oh my God. Start from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. 1776, baby.
Yeah. 1776 2.
Yeah, exactly. Part 2. Oh, this is about life forms. Burchett talks about the biologics with Hannity.
Great. Show it to us.
I knew what you knew. I would not be able to sleep at night.
Yeah, I was briefed in a situation, and they got into some pretty intense stuff. And certainly,
can I ask who briefed you?
You can ask, but I can't tell.
You can't tell.
No. I got to get some clearance on this.
Well, can I ask a question? Have you ever told Donald Trump about all the obstacles?
Did you see that? I got to get some clearance on this. And he looks at Elizondo like he's his handler.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is that, man?
No. I got to get some clearance on this.
Well, can I ask a question? Have you ever told Donald Trump about all the obstacles they're throwing in your face?
No, I haven't. As a matter of fact, I had a discussion with somebody last week. I said, they said, you need to have lunch with him. It's very difficult to get he's right now, of course, things going on all over the world.
But you're also saying, on the other hand, on a need-to-know basis, and that means the president's not on a need-to-know basis.
Yeah.
Our duly elected president is being held, information is being withheld from him.
I believe so. I was told that even. Yeah. And this one time where they asked me where you're quoting, I mean, there was some pretty intense stuff about life forms, what they were doing, and different. And
life forms alive here? Life forms dead here?
Possibly both. And the
vehicles that have been recovered here?
Yeah. And some that have possibly come here and not in a crash type setting. We had an individual that gave, and this was interesting about the whole thing was because there's all the folks in there, and there's who'd you tell me went to Texas and got the standing ovation?
Burlison. Representative Burlison.
I mean, there's different groups of people, and Burlison's a dear friend of mine, and he because in the beginning he was a big skeptic, and I asked him to join us in some of this stuff because I needed somebody that just wasn't like me, that just had been.
Skepticism's healthy.
It's very healthy. I mean, a lot of people that were skeptics, but we were in this one meeting in a secure environment, and a member came in who was not really friendly to the cause, and really was a disruptor, and started asking questions, and the person who was briefing us named names, dates, times, places, events, people. I mean, because I'd asked a question about Jimmy Carter. There was talk, I just threw it out there, that Carter, I didn't like his politics, but I don't question his faith.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that he was briefed at one time and became physically upset with the information that he was given.
Of course he did.
Yeah. But he had actually seen a UFO as a documented thing. And this person that was briefing us gave the date of that meeting and said, and he gave the receipts. He said, you can go to the Carter Library, and he gave the date and said, and there was, I think, 4 people in the meeting, and they listed 3 of them, and one of them, they weren't sure who it was. So it's probably, CIA or something. And it upset him so much that he had pretty much had to clear his calendar for a while. But what is that? And the thing is, everything that all these rumors that you hear in the movies and the books and the magazines that I read growing up, just the wild, crazy stuff. Some of that stuff now I'm being briefed on, and people are telling me that this is actually has occurred. And that to me is I wonder, is this stuff being planted? Is it being pushed out so that we gradually get a hold of it? And
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, now all this stuff, Hannity now talking about crash retrievals and biologics and all that stuff that was, on the internet in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
With the UFOs and aliens, it's all coming to the surface now as reality. It's crazy to be here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
situation and makes you question, really, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know. Yeah, it does make you question it, but and you wonder just how much we've become desensitized to. Because yeah, you're right. I mean, all this stuff would have laughed you out of the room if you'd brought it up, 20,
man, it was
20, 30 years ago. Now we've got people in charge who are openly talking about it.
It was like, by the way, fringe, it was always on the fringes. You have to go searching for it, and everyone would search for it. There's always those messaging boards and just the leaked videos and leaked pictures, and right, it was that type of thing. And now it's fucking just
out here, open.
Yeah.
Crazy. And look, to those in power, look around. I mean, the world's not collapsing. Religions aren't falling apart because we're talking about it.
Exactly. It's like they want to contain this civilization's consciousness, right? Like, why? Let it flourish. Yeah. And they were talking about Burlison, and he's a skeptic, or was a skeptic. I think he still is. He has to still see something, but he knows something's going on, right?
Yeah. Sure seems that way.
Yeah, there's an amazing interview on Jesse Michaels that he did, a 3-hour interview. So I definitely recommend listening to that. And this is just a little clip from there. Crazy stuff, man. It's hard to know, do we really have the technology, or is there just an agreement where some other beings are allowed to use our infrastructure, kind of thing? I don't know what it is. Anyway, here it's pretty cool eyewitness.
It's not public, and he probably will never go public, but he served in special forces, he was in the field and was brought into a room, and what he describes as a hovering black, again, it appears like it's 3-dimensional or 3 meters in diameter, but this thing was blacker than black sphere that was floating. And it just gave this sense of just complete evil and darkness, is the way he described it.
Whoa.
And he felt ill just being around it. He felt like there was just something really bad about it, and didn't want to go anywhere near it.
And was this at an aerospace facility, or?
It was overseas.
It was overseas.
And you can imagine, he's working during the time period in which we were in war. So you can imagine it's one of those locations, whether it's Iraq or Afghanistan.
Whoa. But it was in U.S. possession, or in?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so we had captured it there?
Or that it was a tech that we have. I don't know.
It was maybe actually human technology, or you think genuinely non-human?
He absolutely knew that it was either derived from alien tech, or that it was that it was captured.
Huh? What do you think? Fucking crazy, man.
That is crazy. Yeah, and so you have to. It brings to mind all those stories that people have, or experiences, I should say, that people have about when they have been face to face with NHI, and they talk about how there's this level of fear that hits you that's so deep, and it doesn't feel human.
I know that one. I know that one. Yeah,
hits your lizard brain, and so then you think about all these stories and rumors you have about crafts and aliens affecting human consciousness, and so there's too much coincidence and stories adding up together for this kind of thing not to be real. I'm not going to speak on the experience that Burlison's talking about. I mean, sure, I believe that person's telling the truth, but what I'm trying to say is it doesn't seem far-fetched to me, having that primal fear or uncomfortableness, hitting you. Seems like I don't know if it's a weapon, or if it's a directed energy thing towards whoever is witnessing it, or if it's just a byproduct of whatever they're using to power their craft or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely know what you mean. But do you think that we have this technology, or that
do humans have this technology? Or does our government?
Exactly, like that, because even Burlison doesn't. He goes either derived or that we've captured, right?
Captured, I'd understand. Derived, I think less derived, because I think we'd be seeing a lot more of stuff like this. I mean, we do have some weird bonkers technology. I mean, look at Havana.
There's got to be portals over there too, like Afghanistan and Iraq and that region, right? That the interest goes beyond oil, like that clip we just saw before, where he's like, "It's not about money. It's not about Like, what is the obsession, man, of just, or they're not subjugated enough, so they need to be subjugated? I don't know, maybe that.
Yeah, and then you start tying in the stuff about Baal worship, and maybe they've got a portal open.
And maybe Babylon.
Maybe this is doom. They've got a portal open to hell.
Yeah, right. And these occultists, they are obsessed with Babylon as well. Yeah. So maybe they want to revive that, which they probably do.
I think there was a pretty good story about Babylon somewhere, and how you probably shouldn't try and repeat what they were doing.
Right, exactly. Like, we don't learn. I just, they love to challenge.
It's
right?
there's a really funny meme floating around about how tech billionaires from today, they'll look at stories from like the 1960s and 70s, where the story is basically like, whatever you do, don't create this thing. And tech billionaires today are like, oh, guess what we just did? We just created the thing from that book that says do not create this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I always thought that was really funny. So it's the same kind of thing.
Perfect. Yep. Like 1984 too.
Yeah, exactly. They looked at 1984 and was like, well, this book is full of great ideas.
Yeah, let's follow it.
Yeah.
What I mean, and it's depressing actually, because and now I'll just no, Huxley, he's not the author. Huxley's not the author. Who's the author of 1984 again?
Huxley did Brave New World.
Brave New World, yeah.
I liked Brave New World better myself when I read it. 1984 was oh God, why am I blanking now? I know 1984.
Dude. Anyway,
so sorry, audience at home listening to this and screaming at us.
Yes, let's cut this. Let's move on. Actually, so
yeah,
do we want to watch this clip? Elizondo responds to Coulthard cover-up claims. Basically, Coulthard said that Elizondo worked for the Legacy program with Clapper to. And worked on a disinformation program, right? And then this is basically Elizondo coming on to another CIA-owned guy.
Yeah, well, and if you read the comments, that was more what I was more interested in was the comments on this video. If you scroll down, basically, Cuomo didn't push him at all.
Yeah,
and basically, yeah, here. I don't know what Ross found out about Elizondo's involvement. It was involvement with the Legacy program. He needs to clarify what it is because Lue has already acknowledged his work, and ATIP got too close with another secret program. Ross confirmed this, not surprising, but the intentions of the source are questionable. He said, okay. It doesn't matter. My point about this is I don't know, Ross kind of walked away from this feeling like he got answers, and Lue basically didn't answer anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is becoming clear that Lue knows way more. And remember Grusch, he threatened Elizondo with a subpoena to say that we need to know more. So he does know a lot more about, and he probably worked for the Legacy program, especially if Grusch is after him.
1984 was written by George Orwell, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yes. But I forget what my point was anyway. So
sorry,
but thanks anyway.
Sorry about that. It's not often that I remember a name, so I've got to blurt it out when I can.
Yeah, why was I even like ask what were we talking about?
We were talking about playbooks, and tech billionaires finding fiction that says
yeah. So
government did the same thing, 1984.
Yes. So yeah, exactly. So it's more of a black pill because he said the future of humanity is a boot. No, the future of humanity is a boot on its neck or something like that. Right? Yeah. And it just goes along with this theme, like what we just heard that hedge fund manager say. That's what they want.
As long as the shareholders get paid, the rest of us can get fucked.
Dude, exactly. All right, let's hear Elizondo's side. Why not? Trust or not trust, we got to hear a side.
Yep.
Is now saying something that I don't know if he's just looking for clicks. I mean, he gets plenty anyway covering UAPs, but he said this.
That I think Lue needs to be more forthcoming about his past roles. There are people who bitterly resent and don't think it's a good idea that Lue be appointed to a position of power in UAP transparency because they think that he was part of a previous agenda that was essentially to try to control the narrative, to restrict what the public is entitled to know about the UAP disclosure. I've spoken to people in the Legacy program who knew Lue. Lue, I know a lot of people, and they know you. And I know you can't speak about the role that you've held within the Legacy program, but you did.
Lue Elizondo, now, your response.
Well, look, I think Ross is an excellent investigative journalist. Personally, I like him. I think he's done tremendous work for disclosure and where we are today in the conversation. I find it interesting that just weeks ago, according to some on social media, I had nothing to do with the UFO program or the Pentagon or ATIP. And now, apparently, I ran everything involving UFOs and the Legacy program. So I don't know exactly where Ross is getting his information. I suspect he has sources.
No one said he ran everything. Did you hear that? Did Ross say he ran everything?
Yeah, I did hear him say that.
So Ross said he ran everything?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Elizondo right here. No, I heard Elizondo say that. I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I do remember. I don't know if it was Ross specifically, but I do remember there was basically when the train turned around on Elizondo, there was talk of him, running ATIP at the time.
Right, and then well, yeah, he has that letter from the Senator Reid that he ran ATIP, right? And then John Greenwald did FOIA or something, and then when the government replied back, they said that he didn't have a role in ATIP. Right.
Yeah.
There's all that confusion there.
Yeah, we covered that a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. Sorry.
Really, that's not really my concern. I've always had a lot of respect for Ross. For me, any chance I get to talk about disclosure and transparency, look, I've dedicated the last 10 years of my life being forthcoming with the American people about the reality of UAP, UFOs. In fact, one only has to look at my resignation memo for the record that I wrote to Secretary James Mattis at the time. I've committed myself to transparency to the degree that I could. It is true that I have a security
that's the
clearance
space.
still.
That's the space, Lou, right? Because up till that point, I think Ross would agree with everything you just said until right here. But you were in the legacy program. You've never really talked about it. Is that because you can't? And if you can't, do you think it's fair of Ross to say, well, then you still should?
Yeah, well, first of all, I didn't say I was part of the legacy program. And let me make this clear too, Chris, and I'm sure you can appreciate this. When you work for the government and you have a security clearance, there's always these statements, we cannot confirm or deny. And people always take that as some sort of implicit yes. But the reality is that's not at all what that means. There are classified programs out there. And if someone were to ask me, Lou, were you part of, Project X with the M1 Abrams tank? Even if I wasn't, if it's a classified program, I would have to say I can't discuss that. In fact, I can't even acknowledge that. And for those of you in your audience that have security,
but it still means there's a program, genius. What is he trying to say? Oh, he is fucking such a counter intel bastard.
Yeah. See,
what a piece of shit.
Yeah, and it's talking in circles, and
yeah, dude.
I mean, I don't know. This is why I've turned on Elizondo myself, because he talks like a disinfo agent.
I don't give a damn, Elizondo.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on to our next. What we got next?
Yeah, I think this is from Danny Sheehan. Just some more proof about Elizondo. He said served as chief of security for Pentagon military operation that captured UFOs. But it's still, so he's still part of legacy. So he knows some secrets, this guy.
Yeah.
Times published on the front page of the New York Times above the fold this story about the fact that the United States Pentagon had a special unit, a secret unit that was investigating UFOs. This was Lue Elizondo and Christopher Mellon. He was one of the ones that brought these videos to the New York Times, along with Lue Elizondo, who was the chief of security for the above top secret, military operation in the Pentagon, capturing UFOs and trying to reverse engineer them for making weapons. The New York Times published.
It's crazy, man. That Sheehan just fucking always spills the beans, right? But people still go to him to get. He must be really good in court. I mean, as a lawyer, because people still go to him, and he's always spilling the beans.
Yeah.
I had this guy come to me, and he said this and this, and just complete details. So hilarious. I bet you he'll come on the show. Hell yeah, Sheehan.
That'd be fun. I would love to talk to him.
I would. I think we'd have to get on camera though. We'd have to.
So how do you get
up the game a little bit?
How do you get your hair so perfect, Mr. Sheehan?
Yeah, that is a great question. I'd like to know too. I would really like to know. I mean, how do you keep it so just full like that?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yes, aging gracefully, Mr. Sheehan.
No kidding. Good on him.
So this is the interview. Obviously, it's an hour long, so we're not going to listen to it, or I don't even know. But that Avi kind of changed my opinion of him a little bit. It's not like I don't trust him. I'm not saying I trust the guy. He's still a foreign agent, but I thought that he was going to be like a gatekeeper kind of thing. So for now, he's not. It seems like he's really after it, after the truth. I mean, especially that he talked about his own admission where a Lockheed Martin executive told him about crash retrievals. I don't know where that is in this interview, actually. So,
okay.
But it's a great interview. I think here I stopped it. He was talking about scientific evidence, which is great. He's right. We need to be scientific about this to finally bring the truth out. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. The scientific community needs to just finally say, yes, this is real. It's happening. And we've confirmed it. Because if Trump comes out and says something, it doesn't matter anymore. If the Department of War releases whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. If it's proved scientifically, I think we can win over a lot of people. And then that will bring a lot of change, dude. If just civilization itself and society itself believes that we're not alone and we're being visited and there's a lot out there.
And if we go down the wooey path, if we get enough people to believe, we could probably summon them as a whole.
Yes. Yeah, that's the Collins elite. That's what they're worried about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they think they're demons. Like, oh, well, if everyone believes in them, then, they'll enter this realm freely, not just, sporadically or periodically. So, yeah. And Carl Jung talks about that, right? With the collective unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Avi Loeb, Unit 8200 graduate, just to remind everyone.
Oh.
There was a ban, a treaty that the Soviets signed with the US, banning any nuclear explosions. And then the Vela satellites were supposed to monitor and check if there are any gamma ray flashes from nuclear explosions. Then they found in 1967 a gamma ray flash, and then about 16 more in the coming years. And then they realized that these flashes are coming from the universe. Turns out these are the signals from the collapse of massive stars to make a black hole. You end up with jets of high energy radiation pointed in a very narrow cone.
Thanks for the history lesson, Avi, but he's right. Yes, that did happen. Oh yeah, that's right. This is a great interview, man. Everyone should go watch this. UAP Gerb is there, and dude, the guy is so, I'm sure you've watched his documentaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy is so, I don't know how, he's such a great investigator. You can't hide anything from this guy. And he if you want to understand crash retrievals, definitely watch UAP Gerb's documentaries on them. So he's here and he's pressing Hal Puthoff. He's pressing Avi Loeb as well. So it's great. I think Burlison brought him in. So yeah, it's a great interview. He's here. Let's see. What is he asking here?
In liberal interpretations of the 1954 Atomic Energy Agreement, special nuclear material, transclassified foreign nuclear information, which comes later, restricted data, formally restricted data. How do we crack into that?
Boy, that's tough. When I consider some of the things that we did in the ATIP program, I was a senior scientist, for Bigelow Aerospace on looking at what was happening out of the DIA-funded program. And so we interacted mostly with aerospace corporations. And so they had arranged to get access to materials and so on, which they handled under IRAD.
Mm-hmm.
So in fact, they were not accessible by FOIA. And therefore, that was a problem. So in that program, as we tried to dig out some of this stuff, that's when we saw that the compartmentalization and the stovepiping was just so far off the charts that you sort of weren't going to get anywhere with that. So in fact, one of the things that I was responsible for was that, okay, suppose we had gotten access to all of this pieces of material and so on that they had, what would we do with it? Well, we would try to declassify it to a level where we could send it out to scientists all over the world, the top people in whatever materials or, various forms of propulsion and so on. But since we couldn't get access because of the compartmentalization, they tried hard because they were not making progress because they couldn't get access to any good scientists, which is, I'm so glad to see what Avi Loeb is doing now, and that he has that opportunity. So anyway, I sat there and said to myself, okay, well, suppose I had gotten access, who would...
Man, it's so crazy. Like, is that really true? Like, he's saying like they made no progress because scientists couldn't get access. Like, what is the point? Why would the military? So, all right, no, I guess no. I understand the point. If it's national security of keeping the old system in charge and the old families in charge. Yeah, you don't want progress. Fuck it. Yeah, unless until we get progress, then there's progress, baby.
And if it's sitting in your basement, that means it's not sitting in China's basement.
Man, good point. And that's why they're always watching each other, like who's going to make the breakthrough. And if you do make the breakthrough, oh yeah, we got it too. You know, that's just how it works. But,
yeah, exactly. Yep.
But any natural progression is not allowed. It's like you know when you have your thumb on the hose, the water hose.
Yeah,
right.
To control it. Yeah, for sure.
It feels like that. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
I send this materials too, if we could get them downgraded. So we made up a list of people who are tops in their field for anything that would have to do with these exotic kinds of technologies. And so I just went to them. And actually, I commissioned, I think it was 36 papers from leading experts all over the world, asking them, saying, I was just doing a survey for Bigelow Aerospace. Where will your area of expertise be by the year 2050? I didn't tell them it had anything to do with, quote, ETs or UAPs or whatever. And so we got back some fantastic papers, and they were all put up on a classified website, JWIC's website. But by now, most of those papers have been released through FOIA. So there's a lot of good data in there. And some of the cases, we got really great papers from people who we knew were involved in the legacy program anyway. Yeah. So anyway, that was really quite a find, a catch.
This is your
anyway, very cool. So he said like some of those DIA papers that were written, the technical papers, he said they were written by legacy people that are involved in the legacy program. So that's interesting. I wonder who it was. I mean, I know Eric Davis authored some of those papers, but maybe he's talking about him, maybe not. I'm not sure. So okay, are we doing an hour only today?
If you get more, I'd say we keep going. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah. We have this is basically just continuing on. I think that interview. That's what they're talking about. This is from New York Post. Well, California Post.
Subsidiary. Trump UFO advisors accuse private corporations of operating alien craft retrieval programs. And yeah, I mean, it's obvious. Corporations obviously have a lot of power in this country. And why wouldn't they be going after craft as well?
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. As we've seen a lot of ex-government people, I mean, obviously they go into the private sector to make more money. And where do they go? They go to where the money is, and that's tech programs. Or tech companies.
Exactly. I mean, military people do it. I mean, we see it all the time where people just go through the military, become generals, or even before that, even before becoming generals, then going to the corporate world, right? Joining a board or becoming CEO of a contractor. It's just it happened, and the military and military contractors are not the only industry, right? We saw in the health industry with COVID, all the head of the FDA and NIH, and they all work for pharmaceuticals, and it's just like a revolving door with this. So Avi Loeb, in that interview we just showed, he says, I had a former high-level executive from Lockheed Martin visit my home, and I asked him, is there any truth of these claims? He's talking about crash retrieval programs. And he said, it's not wrong.
God, can't any of these people just talk normally?
It's not wrong. Yes or no?
Yeah, seriously.
Loeb claims retrieve tech would be enough to prove humans are not the only intelligent beings on Earth, and believes private corporations are ready to participate in the Trump administration's disclosure effort. Quote, if such materials exist, we would love to analyze them. With just a gam of material, we will be able to determine if it originated outside the solar system, Loeb told the Post. Yeah, interesting how Loeb is changing, right? Like, what's going on here? What's happening? What is happening?
I don't know. It's just kind of a weird.
Yes,
it's weird for me. That's a weird way to phrase it, because I mean, let's say they are from another planet, whatever. But let's say they had crashed aircraft that was made of carbon, carbon and I don't know, some sort of metal.
I think the isotopes or something. That's what
sure. Isotopes. Yeah. I mean, like, so you analyze it, you go, well, this is carbon, guess it's from Earth. This is nothing, like it just, I feel like you're given a lot of leeway there. Whoever the investigator is.
Yeah. It goes back to that whistleblower, Borland. Borland says, if they want to scientifically prove that something's extraterrestrial, you have to take them, you have to get the material, you have to test it, right? You have to go then to that planet where they say it's from, and then test the planets, whatever, and then you've proved scientifically it's extraterrestrial.
Right.
So it's ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why, and like Loeb would know that. I feel like that's why I was kind of
definitely knows that.
I was looking at that phrasing and going like something doesn't add up here.
Yeah, definitely. Is Elizondo again, A-tip, is Burlison. Okay, and then what else do we have? Oh, we have that these metamaterials are just apparently, and this is MUFON. This is a MUFON guy right here. So Lockheed Martin scientists are saying that anomalous material is manifesting into existence all over the world.
Now, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah. Robert Spearing had a sample that was exhibiting levitation stolen from his mailbox. This episode dropped yesterday. That was banned by YouTube. Huh.
Due to a complaint by a viewer. That's what gets you banned from YouTube?
What the fuck?
A complaint from any viewer?
I don't think so. Ruby's usually pretty good, so I guess it might be true.
Was really interesting was several months ago, Josh turned me on to there was an episode of Hal Puthoff's podcast where he had a Lockheed Martin scientist named Richard Bandurich, correct, Joshua? Okay. And they claimed to have reverse engineered a material that they thought was 200 to 300 years in the future technology wise, and the way they described the material that they had come into possession of is that Bandurich said that just like in the Timbuktu story, people were seeing this material materialize all over the world, and it had the same properties as the piece of Russian sample that was stolen from my mailbox. It was very light. It could actually, if subjected to enough heat, actually levitate. So either Lockheed got my lost sample or something just like it, because this stuff is popping up all over the world.
Oh, literally? There's other...
Literally. Yep.
Oh, wow.
According to the Lockheed scientists, yes, these pieces of material are coming into existence for people all over the world.
Oh, that's very odd, isn't it? Because how would that manifest?
Crazy. So now, like, people are being gifted these metamaterials, just manifesting out of nowhere. Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Man, truly bizarre. But that's having stuff taken from your mailbox. Those porch pirates are getting pretty aggressive, huh?
Yeah, that's MUFON. So is he Russian? He's Ukrainian, and he had this metamaterial that is like extremely light, like like a feather, if not even lighter, but very strong. And he sent it to MUFON, and then MUFON sent it to this guy, Joshua Bertrand, here on the top left, to have a look at it, and it was stolen from the box, from their mailbox. They think, I sent you this one too. Yeah, they think that the Tic Tac uses this type of material. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there you are. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I got disconnected really quick.
No, sorry. Yeah, all good. When did that happen?
Just like for a second. I was back.
Okay.
I heard everything you were saying. I was backstage for some reason.
Okay, all right. So they did an interview about these metamaterials, and this guy's he is obsessed, or what do they call it? Foam gels or something, which is it's material, but it's extremely light, like just what I mean, basically it's made up of holes.
Yeah, I think I know what they're. Yeah, I think I know what they're talking about. I remember reading an article about it a number of years ago. It almost it's like called. It's not called liquid smoke, but it's like the nickname.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yes. So they're saying this stuff is out there, that there's craft out there, that we're using it, that China is using it as well. Extremely secret. They're saying the Tic Tac is that. And that's what that Russian guy leaked to them, to this guy as well.
Gotcha.
Anyway, it's a good interview.
Yeah.
But here he talks about the program we have called Sentient, which the NRO uses, and it uses AI. So basically, it uses all the sensors, all the satellites we have, the radars, whatever, all the sensors. It uses all that data, and then if it finds like a UAP, then it sends it somewhere.
Okay, cool
stuff.
Released from NRO high altitude balloons? I haven't.
Yes, actually, there was a FOIA release that was requested by John Greenwald of the Black Vault against NRO Sentient. And it both reveals that NRO Sentient is a real thing. And one of the releases in the CIA reading room from John's FOIA relates to a Tic Tac that is captured by NRO Sentient that also has a command and control craft. So the Tic Tac had a secondary craft some distance away from it, which was suspected to be controlling the Tic Tac itself.
Right.
It's in the CIA reading room. It is a FOIA that's available on the Black Vault, and it shows that NRO Sentient does exist and does find UAPs.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Some look like the Tic Tac.
I think you've laid out very much a case that a high altitude, long loitering, buoyant craft are here. They're real. Would you agree?
Yep, we have documentation from Lockheed that shows they've been building these craft for at least 2 decades.
And the other
2 decades, fucking crazy, man. Where is it where he shows us the material? He's got all these things himself. Like some of these things are like extremely classified too.
Cool. Lucky guy. He's got to be careful.
Yeah. But MUFON sent him this stuff because they know he's obsessed with this material. And he says, yes, it could be. Here it is from Russia. Space rock, alien material. How come I can't find where they're actually showing it?
in that the size of the pores affects the actual frequencies of, say, of radiation, and you could use it as a very lightweight and very effective shielding stuff. Right. So it's possible that the sample is of practical use in Russia, rather than being a part of an alien spacecraft.
Anyway, yeah, this is a great interview, so we will link it in the description below.
Yeah, everything we talk about on our episodes are linked in the show notes.
Yes.
So if you ever want to see the full video of the videos that we're playing here, just go in the show notes, find the video, and you can watch it yourself. Do some extra research.
Did you ever watch that movie, Signal One?
No, I didn't. Did you?
I did. I did not finish it, but I so far I like it.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
I'll check it
far,
out.
well done. He's really good in it too. I like the concept where it's going. Hopefully, it ends well. But yeah, that might drop my score. Hey, maybe we should do a review of it. Maybe
Yeah, perfect. We can have
keep that as a thing.
We can
Yeah,
have the Bitcoin Live guys on and do that.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's watch the trailer.
Visionaries see things no one else does. Like the first person to photograph dark matter. Annika Kask. There she is.
How did Sam land you?
He promised me we weren't hunting for aliens. You?
He promised me we were.
You've been sent here by Sam to spy on me. I should be doing this work on my own, in my basement.
I'm not the kind of scientist who hunts for aliens.
Well, that's what we're about to do.
Can we talk back?
I suppose we're going to find out.
We don't know if they're peaceful or hostile. It's just too dangerous.
We're not waiting. Not a week, not a day.
The United States military is going to be knocking down doors, so we need to have some answers.
We opened the door and told them we're here.
Our job is to know the unknown. We're not alone. We're not special.
This is going to cause mass panic.
So the billionaire determines the fate of humanity.
You have to be ready for what is to come.
Man, so many of these are coming out, right? Like,
yeah,
there's the Jerry Bruckheimer one coming out as well.
Was that the one on Apple TV?
That's one on Apple TV.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's great, man. I mean, this is my genre of film, so I love this kind of stuff. You know,
hell yeah, man, exactly.
I'll never complain about it.
I just hope they go deep. They continue to go deep. Go even if it's dark. You know, just explore philosophically the ideas.
And embrace the woo. Never be afraid to do that, even though
Absolutely,
it's complete wackadoo. It's really fun.
It is fun. So these guys, you know, we have our project, Breakaway Genesis, right, which was a cryptocurrency to help support breakthrough energy and also UFO whistleblowers. So, but these guys are also doing something similar, but it's only for supporting UFO whistleblowers, which is cool. They're called Vanguard Enterprise. And yeah, so they are supporting Dylan Borland and Matthew Brown.
Awesome.
Right. So, and this is what we need. You know, these guys are risking their lives and their careers. I mean, they lose their clearances, then that's it.
Yeah, and they do need to be protected because they're bringing us the truth.
Yeah, exactly. What's the point?
Yeah, we don't need to do to these guys what we did to Snowden or worse. You know, there's a lot of UAP whistleblowers who fell out of a window backwards onto 3 different knives, and it was called a suicide.
Yeah,
you know, we don't need any more of that. We need to protect these people.
Exactly. If we want this information to come out and proof of it, right? I mean, I guess if I was them, I would say, you know, bring us proof. I mean, Matthew did bring us Immaculate Constellation, right? I don't know if he gave us proof. And then Borland, apparently he did to Corbell and George Knapp. We haven't seen it, so maybe that's different. But yeah, we need more of this. And
yeah, absolutely.
I think Chris Mellon set this up actually because, you know, he's a Mellon, he's a billionaire. But yeah, more of that. And then this is pretty cool. These guys basically they're saying that the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, right, SETI, going and looking at the skies for radio signals, and what they look at narrow beam radio signals, because that means it's artificial, right? But this study is saying that the stars themselves are smearing that signal, so we can't even detect those. So they're saying maybe that's why we're seeing no signals from space, because the stars themselves are smearing the narrowband signals from far away.
Right.
Yeah,
I could have sworn this was kind of a plot point for the 3-body problem, or one of the books in that series where they learned how to communicate. Maybe I'm misremembering, or I've got it confused with another book, but they basically use the sun to transmit long distance messages.
That might be from there too. Yeah, that's raising. Yeah, maybe using the sun for. I mean, that would make sense too, because all star systems are connected, especially in the electric universe theory thing. They are, right? So that would make sense to use star systems for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember where it was either. It might have been from 3-body problem. Maybe.
Yeah. Let me see here. Humans have been searching the stars for alien radio signals. Well, okay. For decades. So far, ET has not found home. Ha ha ha. That doesn't mean intelligent life isn't out there, new study hints. Rather, something else could be interfering. According to research, space weather surrounding alien planets could be preventing us from detecting technological signals from extraterrestrial civilizations.
Yeah, makes
The
sense.
findings that were published on March 5th in the Astrophysical Journal offer a potential answer to the Fermi paradox, also a major part of the three-body problem, but that's neither here nor there. Given the size of the universe, there are many potentially habitable planets that could support life, and yet we have not detected techno-signatures from any of them. So, where is everyone? Physicist Enrico Fermi famously posited in 1950. In the new study, researchers found that space weather caused by a planet's star could broaden hypothetical techno-signals, dissipating their power over a larger range of frequencies and making them more difficult to detect. If a signal gets broadened by its own star's environment, it can slip below our detection thresholds, even if it's there, potentially helping explain some of the radio silence we've seen in technosignature searches.
It makes a lot of sense.
Vishal Gajar, an astronomer at the SETI Institute and first author of the paper, said in a statement.
Very, very,
Yeah. Very
makes
cool.
a lot of sense. Yeah. They found that hypothetical narrowband signals from these exoplanets were more likely to be smeared by space weather, making them even harder to detect.
Space weather is such a funny concept.
I know, right? Yeah. I mean,
it's
I think
rainy out here on the moon. Too
Voyager
much space weather. Sorry.
Voyager just left the heliosphere. Is that what it's called?
Did it finally get out, huh?
Yeah, it finally left the heliosphere. And so it just shows you the effect of the sun. I mean, basically, we all live in the environment of the sun, all the planets, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, crazy to think about. It has such an effect on our planet. All right, yeah. So also, you sent me this one, the time traveler. This one always shows up. There's always a time traveler. That shows up.
I love
in
it that
our
he's from like 80 years in the future and he's talking about the stuff that's going on right now. It's
the way they-
fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't think this is real, unfortunately.
So where did he come from? Like, where did he show up? He just made a video. Is this him?
Yeah, that's him. He definitely looks like someone from 80 years in the future. Big head,
He's got-
small body, ill-fitting suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
My
was.
name is Alexander Smith.
Here we go. No, play it.
Familiar with
Keep the
my
sound on.
Okay.
My name is Alexander Smith. A lot of you may be familiar with my story, in which I told you about my experience in the year 1981, in which I traveled to the year 2118 and back as part of a classified CIA experiment. I broke my silence a few months back in my original interview I did on Apex TV. The world as we know it will change a lot.
The world as we know it will change a lot, Topher. Okay.
Yeah, he talks about the secret technology that CIA is developing, which not a far reach. He talks about World War III. All very fun stuff. I love time travel as a concept. I personally don't think it's possible because I think it'd break the rules that are in place for a reason.
Yeah,
there's a whole thing I could go down. It doesn't matter. But where was I going with this? There's a lot of people that try and predict the future. In fact, the day before yesterday, there was a nice long Reddit post about how something horrible was going to happen in New York City on July 4th yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
Yes.
that was deleted very quickly.
Lickety split.
And it actually turned into, there were a bunch of posts about it on the conspiracy subreddit for hours after, where people had taken screenshots and re-uploading screenshots because they were like, oh my God, this guy has to be telling the truth. His comment and whole profile got deleted immediately after he posted that.
Yeah.
And of course, I don't know that NYC had any kind of special event going on other than normal 4th of July celebrations. So, it's that kind of thing. And, this guy, I don't know, like, making a claim that the CIA is creating secret technologies is like saying water is wet.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, he's not saying anything.
He gets into more details. I'm not giving him enough credit, but
okay. So let's continue then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel it being beneficial to humanity to know not only about this change, but also about the secret technologies being withheld from the public after my original video and after the second interview I did, in which I showed the photograph that I took in the year 2118. I have decided that it is time to share every detail of my experience. I believe the people deserve to know. I believe that you, whoever's out there watching this, I believe that you deserve to know the truth. Because I feel that it would be better.
Fucking tell it. Like, I don't understand.
I think in the actual article that goes through a little bit of it, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But it doesn't. It's really not worth going through. I mean, it's just
Is it really?
another doomsayer talking about World War III and the end of the world and all that stuff. Yeah, I think if you look in here, he's provided no evidence that he's from 20 or he went to 2118.
2118. Two men dressed in black suits standing outside who told him to come with them because they worked for the CIA.
Smith claimed humanity's future would be shaped by a devastating conflict that began as a relatively minor dispute, just like every other war that has ever happened in the history of the world.
Yeah.
It always starts as a minor dispute.
Yes. Reveals evidence.
There's his picture. There's his picture from 2118.
I do have something to show you today.
I like how he takes it out.
all dramatically.
Fucking
This
movie.
picture
And he's shaking.
is taken in the year 2118.
Oh, the music.
You think he would at least just do a scan of it and upload the actual picture instead of taking a blurry video of his picture from 2118?
Yeah, exactly. A blurry video of like Venus.
This picture,
like Venus, depicted by a 1950s animator.
Yeah. Anyway, just a fun little side story.
Hilarious.
I think if you're going to time travel, you better be coming back with evidence.
Yeah,
real evidence.
Exactly, man. It's 2026. All right, we've been exposed to many.
Oh yeah, here's where it gets into it a little bit. Scroll up. No, where was it?
Up or down?
Down. Smith claimed future metropolis featured slanted skyscrapers, bluish tint, flying vehicles moving between buildings, red sky above the city.
Yeah.
He called it District 508. This was a picture of the future I was able to bring back. There was only a minor amount of
District
distortion
508, like District 9.
Yeah, except way bigger.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Except way bigger. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So AI and World War III are on the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You don't have to be a prophet to see what's coming.
Or a time traveler.
Or a time traveler, exactly. This is a great article you shared with me by Taylor McMahon. About the occult rituals and the Epstein files. I mean, I really liked, especially the ranch stuff when it talks about Aleister Crowley, what's his name? Parsons, Jack Parsons.
L. Ron Hubbard.
L. Ron Hubbard.
A lot of good, juicy stuff in this article.
Dude.
And
the temple. Yeah, he talks about, I really like the temple stuff. What they try to copy.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things, and I love this saying. You may not believe in all of the occult and the rituals and stuff like that, but the evil elite sure do.
They do, exactly. Here's sex magic, modern sex magic, and these people trace that back again to Babylon, which we've been talking about. Here it is, Babylon working with L. Ron Hubbard. So all this connects, right? And this new empire they're creating in the Middle East is like bringing up Babylon again.
Yeah,
like they haven't learned their lesson.
No, they haven't. Humility or the hubris of man is we'll do it better this time.
Oh, look at this American. Where is he? How come it's not working? Oh, I was gonna say, look, he's got the American flag.
Yeah, definitely someone who was incredibly patriotic, I'm sure.
Yeah, and this guy had to resign once the Epstein files came out. He's like some Emirati dude.
That's the least that should have happened to him. All of these people.
Yeah, and this thing is draped on the Kaaba, so they sold it to Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a religious thing. Was it the Kiswa that covers all of this is replaced every single year. So the specific pieces that Epstein acquired had been in active religious use right up until the moment they were cut off and sent to him.
Absurd.
According to the woman who procured the cloth for him. This piece had been touched by 10 million Muslims of different denominations during its time in Mecca.
Just crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
It is. Yeah. It really is. So he used it, probably for some ritual.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and it's all ties to the phenomenon, right?
Yes.
And it's crazy. I downloaded Lakatsky's new book, Future Insights.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really good, man. It's really, really good. You know, he headed up OSAP, right? He started it and headed it up. He was the project guy, project head. And
nice.
Basically, the poltergeist, everything, ghosts, all that. It has to do with the phenomenon as well. It's fucking crazy.
So cool. Yeah, I love it. I mean, that's the woo stuff that I love to dig into. Anyway, this is a great article. It touches on just everything.
Yep. So I mean that's what we have, and then maybe we should just end it with the July 4th video you sent.
That was a lot of fun.
Since it is July 4th, we can end it with this and then end the show. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, nice. Yeah, this is a good one. Let's be patriotic. The soccer team's doing well. We wish them all the best. Actually, football and the World Cup. Right?
Did you hear the guy who got the red card last game?
Yes,
he's back he'll be back for the Belgium game. So, and that's tomorrow on Monday.
That is great news. This has been a crazy World Cup. I've definitely enjoyed it. It's been a part of my daily life, actually.
Nice. Yeah, there's been a lot of fun games, a lot of controversy. Been fun to watch, even for people who don't normally watch soccer like me. I don't normally watch soccer, but this has been a really fun World Cup to tune into. I don't know any of the players or anything, so it's all new to me.
It's still fun to watch, right? You don't really
definitely.
Need to. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I think disclosure, it's feeling good now for some reason. I think we're winning the war of the ones who want to keep it secret. The war is going to continue. I just like that's how it's being discussed way more openly. People are not kooks about thinking about it or discussing it.
Correct.
Right? That's a good thing.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
happening. So anyway, hopefully we get to the point where crash retrievals and reverse engineering and the beings are real. That would be, I think, good for humanity. Maybe we'll stop these wars.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Maybe. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, other than that, please follow the show on X. We're at UAP the podcast. I might break away civil, and Topher is at Topher at all. And you found us anyway, but we're on all of the video platforms that do not censor, right? YouTube sometimes censors us and blocks us, but other guys like Rumble, BitChute, those guys do not. So we're on there just in case that happens. But follow us there as well.
And for those who are listening, thank you so much, first of all. But just know there is a video component to all of our shows, which you can. I know Spotify will play the video if you ask it to. And same with, of course, you go to YouTube, you can watch the show. And even though Adam and I are just profile pics, we do have a lot going on the screen.
Yes,
and like this last video, you're not going to want to listen to this. You're going to want to watch this.
Hell yeah. So happy 4th of July, everyone.
Happy 4th of July. Thank you all so much for listening to the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. That is, I don't give a damn, Adam. And I am Topherino, and we'll see you all next week.
All right.
The British are coming! The British are coming!
God bless America.
It's the British! The British are coming! The British are coming! The British are coming!
I think I have it. It's like a chessboard. They're synchronizing their efforts. Then checkmate.
Load those f***ing badgers, you bastards!
Sir, that one's biting the ram hand and pissing in the cannon.
That's just proper British fighting spirit, soldier.
Is that a f***ing badger?
Brace for badger!
Oh, God, it's got fish breath!
Tell me you see what I see.
Aye. And I think they like us.
Can I get a little help?
Fish and chips!
Welcome to America. I've got a tea bag for you.
50 years ago, British landed on our shore. And we kept him on ice.
Why wasn't I told about this?
It's on a need-to-know basis.
I figure it's time for a cuppa!
Smoke them.
You felons! What are we gonna do?
We're gonna shoot from behind the motherfucking trees.
Get to the trees!
Get some, you wankers!
Today you will be fighting for your freedom from a society completely devoid of dental care. Today we celebrate our Independence Day!
Get in, George. Let's go kill some Reds. Lock and load, Benjamin. Locked and loaded.
We need to hit that cannon! Doesn't anyone have any bullets left? Bomber on the horizon!
That's not a bomber.
You British assholes! Up! Yeah!